Hello everyone and welcome to our new episode of the Expat Career And Lifestyle podcast. This is Dominika Miernik, your host, and today I am coming to you with a special guest, Iveta. She is an entrepreneur, expat and digital nomad. She has lived in 11 different countries over the past 10 years and recently decided to move to the Czech Republic so that she can also explore her own country too. She is truly passionate about digital marketing, sales, and psychology, and combines these three fields to help expat women turn their skills and passions into an online business so they can ditch their 9 to 5 job and live the life they want. And today with Iveta, we are going to speak actually about how to transition from your 9 to 5 job and start your own business as an expat woman. So hello, Iveta, thank you for being with us today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome, you're welcome. So I'm really excited about this interview. So Iveta is actually from Czech Republic. I am from Poland, so we are neighbors.
That's right.
That's right, yeah. So Iveta, please tell us a little bit more about you, how your international journey started, and how you started your own business. So tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, totally. So I guess you already mentioned at the beginning what my business is, what I do. But my journey basically started as an expat 10 years ago. It's been exactly 10 years ago when in summer 2010, I had an opportunity to go to the US and work in a hotel as a housekeeper. And I said to my mom, back then I was studying my bachelor degree in business and economics, and I said to my mom, look, I don't speak any English whatsoever, and even though I'm going towards master's degree, it's not going to help me. Like, I need to learn English, right? And I had a big argument with my mom because she wasn't agreeing with me. She said, like, if you want to learn English, go to London, right? Go to UK, it's in Europe, you don't have to go all over the Atlantic Ocean to the US. But I said, no, I don't like British English. I'm going to US, And that's how my journey started. I went there for summer holidays, summer work and travel holidays, or that was the name of the visa. And I worked there, and it was my first expat experience, and I totally came back, I would say, as a different person. I just knew that my life will never be the same. I knew that I want to travel more and see more. And voila, right? 10 years later, and I've lived in 11 different countries, and more to come, really. So that's how it started. That's how it started in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm. So, like, what was your biggest challenge while moving and having this international life?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I guess, Domi, I should say that there are two parts to my story. One is the expat life, and the second one is the digital nomad life, because it's completely different. Mm-hmm. Like, I lived as an expat, and the biggest challenge was definitely, I would say, to find a good job. Living in Barcelona and Berlin, London, I definitely struggled to find good job, and I was very disappointed, like, seeing that basically my master's degree doesn't matter and my international experience don't matter anymore because I'm not in my country. And it was really painful. So I think that was the biggest challenge when we look at the expat life. And if we have a look at the digital nomad life, which I've been living over the past 2 years while running my online business, I guess the biggest challenge was to combine travelers and online business, because I'm a full-time online entrepreneur, and traveling in countries such as Cambodia or Thailand or Bali, it's fun. But if you travel and you are trying to basically find good Wi-Fi and you have calls with your clients all around the world, then it's quite challenging. So I would say when it comes to digital nomad life, then it's definitely Wi-Fi and combining traveling and the work stuff or the business stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's true that expat life and digital nomad completely different kind of
Completely.
completely, and I can agree with challenges of both lifestyle, because I have experienced them both also. So or how are you overcoming this challenge with managing your business and working and having this traveling lifestyle right now?
Yeah, so I guess, things have changed this year for me because
Yeah.
of COVID, obviously. Like, I came to Czech Republic actually in December last year, and I thought I would stay here for 2-3 months. And I moved to Prague, to capital city of Czech Republic, just for a couple of weeks to spend some time with my best friends. And then COVID happened, right? And I'm like, well, I was planning to go to Sydney to see my boyfriend, or Vietnam, to continue traveling in Asia. But voila, we are here, and I'm in the Czech Republic. So right now, I'm not planning to travel. Right, like this year, it's not going to happen. Hopefully next year, it's going to happen. But right now, to be honest with you, I think everything happens for a reason, and I was quite exhausted from travels around Asia and Australia. From last 2 years, and now I'm really happy that I have the opportunity to spend time with my family actually, and with my mom especially, and with our dog and my sister's kids. So I'm very happy where I am. So I don't have the challenges of internet right now and travels, as I'm at one place right now, or in one country. I'll still travel around Czech Republic, but I'm in one country, so it's easy.
But so how did you deal with those challenges before? Like,
like when I was traveling abroad?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I've realized that for me, what's really important is when traveling right abroad as a digital nomad and running online business, it's really important to have a good Wi-Fi. So before I would be traveling, and I did really crazy stuff. Like, as an example, right? I traveled by bus from Vietnam to Cambodia, and literally, it was a journey, like, I don't know, 6-7 hours a journey. And when I got to Phnom Penh, I was basically having a group call with my clients, right, in the evening. So I did crazy stuff like this. I was exhausted, and anyway, I just got to Phnom Penh and I was looking for some quiet cafe with Wi-Fi, and had group calls, because Airbnb tells you, yes, we have a great Wi-Fi, but it's sometimes not sure, as you probably know from your experience. So I was really like, I did crazy stuff like this, but then I learned, okay, like, I really need good Wi-Fi and quiet space. So then when we were traveling with my boyfriend, we were looking for apartments which are reliable, and with like looking at reviews that there is a good Wi-Fi. And obviously I had the best data connection and speed I could have in that particular country, so I can hotspot at any time. And also another thing which we did then was we just decided to stay in places for longer periods of time than just 1 week, right? So if we could, we stayed somewhere for 2 weeks, and then maybe we traveled for, I don't know, 4 days. We just explored the surrounding, or we moved around, and then again I was working for a couple of days. But to be honest with you, it's really I found it exhausting. There's a completely different lifestyle. Like, if somebody says that he or she is digital nomad, but they actually move, I don't know, to Bangkok for 6 months, that's not the same like I did. I did really like constant traveling and running business, which was tiring. So I learned, if I do it again, I would definitely give myself, like, I don't know, I would change places, like, let's say every 3 months, not every 3 days. So that was my learning, and I wouldn't expect that before. I thought, like, it's gonna be fine, I will just manage that.
Yeah.
The unicorn in me.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that like digital nomad lifestyle can be tiring, and but people think that it's exciting, but also it has like some negative, let's say, negative aspects. Yes.
And I guess what's important to say is also that, like, for example, my boyfriend, he's an architect, and when he was doing some work, he couldn't understand why I'm stressed about like Wi-Fi all the time. But for him, it's easy because he just has his laptop, right? He has his Mac, and he has his program. I don't know what program is it. Like, he's using some different programs for building houses, but he doesn't need to speak with people. Whereas when I am traveling or wherever I am, I'm working with my clients one-on-one or in groups. And I really need quiet time and space to focus, because the work that I do with my clients is transformational, and it's also important to hold space for them, as you know, as a coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for some digital nomads, such as, I don't know, architects or designers, or I don't know, like, what if they don't need to speak with clients or sell, that's fine, like they don't have this pressure of like having the internet and quiet space. But for me, it definitely was a big obstacle, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, what prompted you to start your own business?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I started my, if you like, business, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
when I was 6 years old. That was the first time, and from that, we don't have time to go into that story, but I just always knew I want to be my own boss. But when I was, I'm still young, but when I was younger, when I was teenager, I dreamt of like having a business and having employees, and like, I didn't know in what exactly, but I dreamt about giving people job and building something big. But obviously things have changed thanks to the internet, and I've realized that this is not the path I'm gonna go to. And I realized, like, okay, like, actually I can build a business online, and I can have the freedom to be anywhere in the world with just my laptop in hand. And that's what I did. But really, what really really pushed me was the challenges I mentioned as an expat, because
Mm-hmm.
finding a job was tricky. I didn't feel, I felt really depressed when I was, for example, in London. I felt really depressed because I thought, like, well, I've been, really, I felt like I was really working hard all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I got to the job market in London, and it's like, I had interviews where there was another 700 people being interviewed for the same position. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, this is not the way, I want to live my life. And also, I didn't feel appreciated in jobs, like, not all jobs, like, don't get me wrong, I had some good memories as well, not always the bad memories, but I felt like I could do so much more. And so I was looking into how I can actually start an online business, and how I can also, most importantly, how I can do something that makes sense to me, you know, where I can see something that's purposeful. Because some jobs that I did, I just felt like, okay, why I'm living?
Mm-hmm.
I really ask like deep existential questions, like, what's the purpose of me being on this earth? Because what I do 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, it just doesn't make sense to me. There must be more to life. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't settle for less, and I kept digging, digging, digging. And then I was very close to coaching, 8 years ago, and I knew that this is something, like, this is the path I'm going to take one day. But I always thought I'm too young to become a coach. And once I overcame that, I was able to really embrace that. And I studied transformational coaching in London. And then from that, I used my skills in selling and marketing and digital marketing. And I combined basically these three, and my business was born, really.
Mm. Yeah, so it's like about, yeah, combining your skills and, yeah,
Mm.
and your experience. And you say something important, that like you felt too young, and there are
Mhm.
many women, expat women, or even people starting a business, that can feel like not good enough, or too young, or even too old, uh, scared of failing. So
Oh
you
gosh, yeah.
overcome
Mhm.
those challenge of feeling too young. But what,
Mhm.
so can you tell more about that? So what to do with those thoughts and limiting beliefs that we can have
Yeah.
before starting something for us?
Yeah, great question. And I think, like, this is one of those doubts or fears, or more of them, are the reason, the biggest barriers, I would say, that
Mm-hmm.
women built in front of them, to take the leap and start a business. And what to do with them? I mean, that's like, it's very, it's difficult to answer, because, like, when I work with my clients, and also from my experience on my journey, each of those fears and doubts are different. And each of them is, each of my clients, if I look at my clients, they uh, I would say like each of those beliefs and doubts, there's a different level to them. And some of them are really deep rooted in us because they come from childhood. And some of them, they need more time to get released. Some of them, there are simple exercises that I use with my clients, and some of them can be released within a couple of minutes. So I don't have one tool and it fixes all, but definitely what I can think of now is a very easy exercise that anybody can really do. Like, let's say someone right now listening doesn't feel like she is good enough to start an online business, right? That's an example.
Mm-hmm.
So very simple exercise. If we think of affirmations, right? We all have heard of affirmations. So affirmation would be, I'm good enough to start an online business. I'm good enough to start an online business. But the truth is, affirmations don't really work because there's a little part in our brain called amygdala, which recognizes whether we are lying to ourselves or not. So if somebody is feeling really like I don't have enough skills, I'm not good enough, I'm really scared of starting a business, and she starts to affirm herself that she is good enough, this little part of her brain starts to say, you are not good enough, you are lying to yourself. And basically it never sinks in. Mm-hmm. So there's a little method which is called actually affirmations. I believe it was developed by psychologist Noah John. I believe, like if you Google it, you will find it, or anyone can find it. And the beauty of affirmations is to tweak affirmations and make a question out of them. So as an example, instead of saying, I am good enough to start a business, which would be affirmation, the affirmation would be, why am I good enough to start a business? And the beauty of affirmations is that when we ask questions, we'll find the answers. So in other words, we are not fighting with our brain and lying to ourselves, but we are actually asking our brain, hey, give me answers. Why am I good enough? Mm-hmm. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. And this is so powerful. Like anyone listening, like you can just write down those affirmations and write answers and contemplate on them. And you will be surprised how much it's gonna like move you to different places. This is one incredible little exercise that anyone can use. So I always say, like, it's always about the questions we ask ourselves. That's the power, always do the questions. And it can take us way further than any other contemplation on our, let's say, trauma from childhood. Obviously, there are certain traumas that needs to be addressed, but it's a little simple exercise. It's very powerful.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. So I think it's like exploring, looking for reasons, examples, like looking for the proof, that you are good to good enough. You are more than good enough to start.
Exactly.
To start something for you. So, like, what would you advise, like, to an expat woman who is thinking about starting a business and is scared about the financial pressure that you can have at the beginning?
Yeah, good question. I mean, so I guess when it comes to, I think I've got two recommendations. One is definitely to do financial pressure. And second one is in general that I always say to anyone who wants to start a business. Mm-hmm. So first one, when it comes to financial pressure, like don't quit your job until you've got money coming in and you are comfortable, because I was the same. Like I see so many people, and I wasn't different actually. I had some savings on my bank account, but I felt like I need to quit job and I really need to. I made over $1 million in sales for my boss, and I felt, okay, now is the time to make it for myself. And I was so pumped up, and I felt like, okay, nothing can stop me, and I quit my job. And I had clients and money coming in, but still, like, I've put unnecessary pressure on myself. So to advise anyone, first thing would be definitely like have like money coming in, and then when you feel like, okay, now I feel comfortable, then do the transition. And the second thing I would advise anyone, which saves, gosh, it would save me so much time and stress and money. Hire someone who is already there where you want to be. You know, like if you are thinking about starting a business in, I don't know, fashion industry, jewelry, or whatever it is, find someone who already runs the business, who already did it, and learn from them. You know, if you want to start a coaching business, find someone who already done that. Like, it's the easiest way to actually get where you want to be. Again, from my own experience, because I have experience in marketing and selling, I really felt when I quit my job, I felt like I know it all. And what I don't know, I will Google. Simple as that, right? That was my attitude. I felt like, okay, I know it all. Like, I made so much money for my previous boss, or for my last boss. Like, I can do it by myself. This is really easy. Oh my gosh, Dominica, I was so wrong. And I guess you can agree with me. But I was so wrong. Like, I've really learned after a few months, I was so burned out. I was exhausted. I felt like, oh my God, I really need help. And then I just hired a mentor, and things just started to flow. And, you know, it just, oh my God, like that's definitely another recommendation that I've got, because it's going to save you a lot of time and money.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. Also, like when you are starting something, a business, you need income coming in. So I say often, like, to my clients, that your job can be seen as an investment to your business, because you need to invest. You need to invest working with someone, with a mentor or a business coach, or you need additional.
That's a great approach. What you're just saying, your job can be seen as an investment. I love it.
So and then slowly you can, but of course, when you are in a job that you hate, you just want to leave. And
that's true.
Do something as quickly as possible. But here we have to be strategical about that. So you live in 11 different countries, and now you are in your home country. Okay, so this wasn't, like, let's say it wasn't planned to stay for so long. But how do you feel about that, like, staying in your country?
I mean, people ask me, like, are you staying here or what? And honestly, I don't know, because like, my boyfriend is in Australia. He can't travel, he can't leave the country. So I don't plan anymore anything, because with COVID, it's so unpredictable, you know. So I don't know, you know, like, borders can maybe lift up in Australia. Maybe he's gonna come here. I don't know. We don't have really plans, to be honest with you, because it's impossible to plan anything. That's how I feel right now. And to be honest with you, for the first time in my life, I sort of like feel really comfortable in not taking control of what's gonna be next month, if it makes sense. You know, I sort of started to feel like, okay, I would just chill out, and, you know, I can't plan anything, so why bother, you know? But good point is, like, even though I don't know if I'm gonna be here next year, it's definitely, and I guess anybody who was an expat for a certain number of years, or digital nomad and away from her country, she can relate to this, that it's weird to come back to your country. Like, it's so weird. Like, when I moved at the beginning of the year, like, to Prague, I felt so weird. Like, the Czech mentality, I felt like, oh my God, like, seriously? Like, I really felt like, I don't know. I just, I don't know. It was some things I felt like an expat, you know. So what I did, I started to hang out in Prague with other expat women, because that was the environment that I felt the most comfortable in, right? So it was really weird. Like, things have changed so much over the past, you know, years since I've been away, and but I'm slightly getting used to it now. But it was definitely not smooth.
It's interesting to see how we see our country after living for many years abroad. So yeah, wonderful, Iveta. Thank you very much for sharing everything, your story, your experience, and tips about how we can start a business and overcome the biggest challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, tell us more where we can find information about you. And I also know that you have a gift for our listeners.
Yeah, totally. So you can find information. The best place is Facebook, really.
Mhm.
So yeah, anybody who can find me under my full name, which is Iveta, and surname is Zaklasnikova, Zaklasnikova. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me, and I post like tons of good stuff on there for anybody who's interested to start an online business, and also my website, which is also my first name and surname.com. You can find me there as well. And free gift, I don't have for you as like a freebie as such, or some wonderful ebook, but you can definitely book a strategy session with me. So anybody who is listening and is interested to start an online business but doesn't know how to start or where to start, or perhaps what we discussed, Dominica, like one of those fears, maybe someone is listening and really wants to overcome one of those fears and pick up the business, get in touch with me. We'll schedule a strategy session, and we can see if I can help you anyhow, or point you to the right direction. Yeah.
Great. So I will put the link to the website and also to the Facebook.
Thank you.
So with the show notes, so people can go and check it and connect with you, and also book strategy session with you. So thank you very much, Iveta, for being with us today and for sharing your experience. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Dominica.
More travel.
Let's see.
Yeah. Fantastic. So thank you very much for listening. Tell us more. What are your learning points from this interview? What are your fears, doubts about starting a business, your questions? Share in the comments. And I will be back soon with another fantastic episode. So thank you very much and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.